What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream today. We'll be looking back on yesterday's game as Arsenal kept the European dream alive. It could be the Conference League for Arsenal next season after a 3-1 victory at Crystal Palace. Also, reports coming in today that Arsenal are chasing Norwich midfielder Emi Buendia. And we'll look back on the game. We'll look a little bit at the Conference League. And this man behind me, he had to get the green screen today. Nico Rasclot. Pepe turned up yesterday and, scored 2 quality goals. So big up Pepe. Hope everyone's well and safe. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up everyone who was waiting. Yeah, man, what's up? Hope you're all well. Appreciate you all tuning in as always. Checking in from Mississippi. Yeah, man. Pete Settings, man. Pete Settings. Man said, hold on, is that the new short under that hoodie? Nah, no shirt, bro. No shirt. I'm telling you, I will not be ordering it. Even though I was joking about it yesterday, saying I'll order 4 new shirts. No shirt. Leicester fans still buzzing here, man. Big up Fran in the chat as well. Hit the like button ASAP. Big up MO7, man. Happy birthday. Big up for tuning in on your birthday. Big up Big C. What a way to enjoy the birthday with a Big C stream. Big up MO7. Happy birthday to you, man. Pepe did better than Zaha. Yeah, I know. And you know what? When we did the preview show, I have to admit, I was saying that I felt that Zaha was the better player out of the two. But yesterday, Pepe done his thing. We need more. We need more, though. And we need Arteta to show belief in him, man. Keep playing him. Keep playing him. Let's have a look back on the game yesterday and the stats. And, we may even do player ratings today, which we haven't done for a while, as I've been so disgusted with this team. I've had no enthusiasm to do it. So Arsenal beat Crystal Palace by 3-1. It looks a lot more comfortable than it was. 91st and 95th minute goal. Martinelli came off the bench. Pepe got the goal to seal it after scoring the first goal. Palace had 12 shots to Arsenal, 6 on target to 3 for Arsenal. Arsenal had 69% possession, only 39% for Palace. So we dominated the game now. Well, we dominated the possession, not the game as such. Now, what that has done to the Premier League table is it gave us a little bit of hope, unfortunately. As I came off the stream last night, I was watching the rest of the West Brom game and they crumbled. They obviously lost the game 3-1 to West Ham. And that ended Arsenal's hopes of qualifying for the Europa League that seemed to be opening up for us yesterday. Those hopes are completely finished now with West Ham winning that game. And Arsenal's only hope of getting into Europe next season is the Conference League. I've been bantering about it for the last week, but I've got to admit, there's a very, very good chance that we end up in this competition this weekend. Fran said Pete needs to do it against good players. Until then, he's got a lot to convince me, people. We'll talk about Pepe shortly, definitely, because it was a good performance. But we need to see it on a more regular basis. At the same time, Arteta needs to give him a solid run in the team. Conference League or nothing. So first of all, I want to ask you guys, would you rather take the Conference League or would you rather just be out of Europe altogether? Do you guys look at it and think, okay, win a European trophy, give the youngsters game time, and like Jasmeet's saying here, the Conference League is actually good for Arsenal since it will increase our coefficient, which will make us qualify for the Champions League from 2023, even if we don't get the top 4 per the new rules. A good point. Good point. I didn't know that. Conference League streams, man. Do you know what I mean? Against teams we've never heard of. No Conference League. I will take it. We need the money. I don't want nothing to do with the conference. Tim said nothing. I think the general feeling is most people don't want nothing to do with it. Screw the Farmers League. But the reality is this. 7th place in the Premier League gets you in the Conference League. Now, the current team in 7th is Tottenham, 59 points. Tottenham's final game is Leicester City away. Leicester are 5th. Leicester have it all to play for. They're 1 point off third. They're only goal difference away from getting in the Champions League. And Chelsea play Aston Villa away, which is a tricky game. Liverpool play Palace at home. I think they'll win that. So Leicester, I don't see Tottenham going to Leicester and beating them away from home at Leicester. I think Tottenham will draw that or lose that. The other team in our way is Everton, who are a point clear. Now, Everton play Manchester City away from home. Now, we know Pep's not going to play full strength with the fact that Manchester City play the Champions League final the following week. So I'd expect maybe De Bruyne, players like this to be on the bench. But, for example, Sergio Aguero's last game for Manchester City, I think he'll play. You know, City's B team, if we like to call it, to me, is still good enough to beat Everton at home. I do not for 1 second think Everton go and beat Manchester City. Even though, as you say, it is a meaningless game for City, but I think City will beat Everton. I just think they're far better. There could be a scenario here where Tottenham and Everton draw or lose, meaning if Arsenal beat Brighton at home on Sunday, 4 p.m. kickoff, we end up in 7th place. Now, the one positive is we would finish above Tottenham. So at least for banter point of view, it is good. But it would put us into the Conference League, people. And I don't know what you guys think about that. I know most Arsenal fans don't want anything to do with that Conference League. But this looks like the direction we're going. When will we be playing the games? On Friday? They will still be on a Thursday. You can see it in Tianan. You can see it. Tottenham will go and draw with Leicester. Everton will lose to Man City and we'll draw 1-1 with Brighton, you know, and flop all our chances. But KS says, big up Curtis. Did you see Arteta saying it's time to deliver on the final day? Arteta wants it. I'm telling you now. Arteta will want to be in Europe. I think he would rather be in that than not. He will say to the board, you know, I've still made us some money. He'll probably go and win that league and then say, you know, I'm one of the first managers at Arsenal in recent times to win a European trophy, you know. He'll dress it up to how he needs to. Curtis, take your time with it, league, for us next year. Come on, man. The Haribo Cup, we're calling it now. Scenes when we get knocked out of the playoffs of the Europa League. Listen, I wanted to do this today. Before I look ahead to the transfer news, I wanted to give you all the breakdown of the Europa Conference League. Because, do you know what? I got a lot of messages from people yesterday saying, what's this Europa Conference League that you keep talking about? I've never heard of it. I don't know much about it. People genuinely don't really know what it is. So I'm going to... Man said it's the same logic as me entering the 100 meters versus my kid's sports day. Yeah, you win the gold, but it don't really mean nothing. Did we move to a new stadium to be excited and compete in the European Conference League? It looks that way. We said we were competing with Bayern Munich. You know, it's not quite Bayern Munich, is it? But I'm going to give you all you need to know here about Europe's glamorous competition, the Farmers League, the Haribo Cup, the Losers Competition. I'll give you a quick rundown. So the Europa Conference League final will be played in Tirana in Albania on Wednesday, May the 24th. The stadium has a capacity of just 22,500. I mean, they're obviously not expecting the fans to be interested, because why would you put the final in a stadium with 22,500 capacity? You know, so they're not expecting many fans to go to it. So the finals in Albania, the third losers competition, people saying. It's already looking like a joke, isn't it? 22,000 for the final. Interesting, the trophy actually looks similar to the Europa League. So maybe if we win it and we lift it, if we squint our eyes a little bit, you know, and you know, I'll go on Photoshop and just take that conference word out of it and say, listen, we've won the Europa League. Nah, listen, it's a shambles. The Carabao Cup's harder to win. It probably is. So teams drop out of the Champions League to enter this competition. So as you can see here, in the knockout stage, the 8 third-place teams from the Europa League groups will enter the competition. Oh, dear me. So not even the third, in the Europa League where the third place Champions League team comes in. Now it's the third placed team in the Europa League group will drop into this competition now. So you guys are just like, what is this? The top 7 cup winners will enter it. But the thing is that you would think that would make it a half decent competition. But the problem is most of those teams will be the teams that have finished in the Europa League or Champions League spot. So they won't actually enter the competition. Now, as you can see here, fixtures will be played on a Thursday at 4:30 p.m., 6:45 p.m. or 9 p.m. So there's your kickoff times. I mean, I'm talking like we're even in it, by the way. We'll probably go and drop points against Brighton on the weekend and you can forget about it. But I'm just letting you know all you need to know, people, so you're prepared for this, Throw it all away, he said. You win a goat and a bottle of Lambrini. I'm telling you, man, it's mad. So fixtures, there you go, 4:30, 6:45 or 9 p.m. I mean, purely from a selfish point of view, and I'm being selfish here, content creator, for some of them away games, I'll probably go to the odd one of them just to do a vlog. And because, before when I wasn't making content, I went to a few games in Europe and stuff, European competition games. And I always thought, if I ever had a channel, these vlogs would be decent. So for me, you might see me in Albania at the final if we get there, Conference League's on its way, man. We have to embrace it. The final's on the 24th of May, one day before the Europa League final and 3 days before the Champions League final. Do the winners qualify for the Europa League yet? Just as the Europa League winners qualify for the Champions League, the Europa League conference winners will automatically be entered into the following season's Europa League. How far have we fallen, eh? How far have we fallen? We were... at one stage, I was literally embarrassed to be in the Europa League. Now I'm desperate to qualify for it. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. The Europa League, the UEFA Europa League will now be the domestic cup winners. The Europa Conference League is the minor competition. Teams who get knocked out of the Europa League qualifiers will drop into this competition. Some of the teams that are in it: KF Tirana of Albania, FC Flora, and no, I'm not talking about the butter you put on your bread, or Cups of Estonia. I mean, I'm sure you've all heard of these prestigious teams, or Klaksvikar from the Faroe Islands. These are teams that are not even winning their own titles. They're probably not even finishing top 3 in those ones. I can just imagine it. Curtis in Albania rocking his Dreamcast shirt. I'm telling you, man, I'm there. FC Flora away. 25 fans over there watching Arsenal. FC Crumpets. Arsenal v Aberdeen in the final. It's crazy, man. How the Giants, how the great have fallen, man. David and Goliath business. What a competition. 4:30 kickoff on a Thursday, some of the games. 32 teams will be in it. So it's the teams who finish 7th in their group, in their league. Who could be in it? Based on the current league positions, it would be. So only one team from the 5 major European countries will be in it. So you only get one from England, one from France, one from Italy, one from Spain, one from Germany. So listen, you're not going to have a lot of competition to beat. You may have, I think they were saying at the moment, Roma would be the team that would qualify. Look, so they're saying here at the moment, it's supposed to be the domestic cup winners, but because Manchester City and Leicester have won it, it drops to 7th. Tottenham are in 7th. At the moment, the team in 7th is Villarreal. So we could see Villarreal again. Real Sociedad as well. They could potentially get there. Roma are 7th in Italy. So you could have Roma in there. Mönchengladbach in Germany. Lens or Lens of France. So You're not going to have to play much. Why has the Europa Conference League been created? Originally named Europa League 2. I mean, do you know what? I think that's even worse than calling it the Conference League. Europa League 2, you know. Oh, mate. Do you know what? I think I'll cut it off there. I think you know all you need to know now, people. Europa League 2, the finals in Albania. We're playing teams called FC Flora. Sound like butter, bread, and crumpets. Bread is bread, cheese is cheese. FC we're playing against. It's a shambles of a competition. It has been created for money. Europa League 2, you know, we've basically been relegated from the genuine Europa League. Yeah, imagine Emery ends up in here again and beats us again. Man said more goats than fans. Make space in the trophy cabinet, boys. We're winning it. It's a proper violation, man. Right, let's get into one or two other things. Let's look at transfers. Arsenal are chasing Emi Buendia, a player we've spoken about time and time again. This story is now developing because it looks as if Martin Odegaard could return to Real Madrid. Obviously, news came out the other day that Zinedine Zidane will leave Real Madrid at the end of this season. He said he needs a break, and he was the person that was kind of stopping Odegaard getting a chance. He's not a big fan of him. Arsenal, from what I'm reading, want Odegaard on loan for another season, but it looks as if he may be recalled to Real Madrid. Now, Arsenal, we need another number 10. We've spoken about this guy time and time again. I will show a little breakdown of him and things like that. But Charles Watts reporting Arsenal's interest in Emi Buendia is growing as they look at alternatives to Martin Odegaard. No bid made yet, but Edu is focusing on the Argentine. Full report if you want to go and click on that link. In this link as well, it says Arsenal also looking at Nabil Fekir from Real Betis. They're having financial problems over there. Fekir, a player we were linked with a few years ago. Liverpool famously turned him down at the last minute due to the knee injury when they did his medical. But Emi Buendia is the number one focus. Now, reports saying Norwich will want between 30 and 40 million pounds for Emi Buendia. So you're probably looking at around 35 million. Would you go for him? Would you go for him? Would you be happy with Emi Buendia? Tom said we'll get Draxler. Draxler has signed a new 3-year contract at PSG. Alpha Vision said don't want Fekir. Not Fekir, says James. 30 mil max. Buendia has just been called up by Argentina. Wow, didn't know that. What I want to look at as well with this Buendia, I want to give you a bit more of a rundown of him and what he's produced, because there are reservations about him at the same time. A lot of people have said before they weren't sure about him, and we'll look at the reasons why. As you can see here, Buendia, he was named Championship Player of the Year this season. Remarkable season. You look at his stats here on the top line, 15 goals and 16 assists. But we do have to, bear in mind that it is the Championship, although the Championship is a difficult league to play in. He's 24. He turns 25 in December, Christmas Day. He turns 25, so, he's got age on his side. What always appeals to me about Buendia when I've watched him is the goal contribution, goals and assists. 15 goals, 16 assists this season. Where he's been sometimes criticised is on this bottom line, as you can see here. When he was in the Premier League, 36 games, only 1 goal and 7 assists. Now, Norwich finished bottom. They're obviously a poor team that year, so maybe he was struggling to score the goals. In the Championship, the first year he came, 8 goals, 12 assists. This year, 15 goals, 16 assists. As you can see, as someone's pointed out, red cards, Do we look at that as a positive? He's a little bit feisty, or is he a little bit over the top? When I've watched him, he gives me Santi Cazorla vibes. I'm not saying he's as good as Santi. Santi Cazorla was a genius. But he's small, he's 2-footed, low centre of gravity, can dribble, can shoot. For me, for £35 million, it's an absolute no-brainer. Arsenal need to get this deal done, in my opinion. Martin Odegaard on loan. Again, it's a short-term solution. Odegaard could come to Arsenal next season and be poor, and then we're nowhere. If he's great, Real Madrid could say, okay, we want 60 million for him, and then he goes. I think we need permanent players now. I think loan signings are good at times, but I want a number 10 that we can work with. 24 years of age, 2-footed, scores goals. It's worth the risk. We can't be snobby no more. We're not the Arsenal we were 10 years ago. We've seen Grealish, Maddison, players like that. They came from the Championship. You know, we can't think that because he's from the Championship that he's not good enough. Ebby said, no, Odegaard for me. And at the moment, I think that as well. Odegaard's ball yesterday was first class. It was a good cross. But have we seen enough of that? Maximum 35 mil for Emi Buendia. I think we'd get him for that. Steve said, definite no-brainer. Snap him up. 60 million for Buendia and Max Aarons. Listen, I agree with that as well. You've heard me, I think, a few times give you my opinion on Max Aarons. That, for me, is probably the right back that I would go for. I think he would be a good solution for Arsenal, Max Aarons as well. Just go to Norwich and give them 60 million and take both of them. You know, 60, 70 million. Give them someone as part of the deal, a Reece Nelson or someone. So Emi Buendia, someone said in the comments there he's just been called up for Argentina. He's uncapped by Argentina at the moment. Arsenal Gamer said, I think Buendia is better than Odegaard. Prince Teddy said Max Aarons is a baller, very good. Cello said no bueno. No bueno. So no bueno for Arsenal, man. Nicholas said, Big C, you have one choice, Aarons or Buendia. Do we need... That's a good one. That's a good question. Do we need the right back more than the 10? I'm thinking we could get away with Smith Rowe at 10, where we don't have a right back that's good enough. So for me, I'd have to take Max Aarons. But listen, I want them both. Big up the Jim Gooner TV. 100% take Buendia. He's been amazing for 2 seasons. Last season, he was the standout. Even though Norwich went down, he's been their player of the season. He's direct and bags goals. Alexis-esque. Big praise. I have spoken to a couple of Norwich reporters, and they say he's one of the best players they've seen at Norwich. I mean... why not, eh? Big up Polymation, fam. I made it. Greetings, everyone. Big up, man. 85 million for Basuma, Lamptey, and Buendia. I would go Basuma, Aarons, and Buendia. I think they're saying 30 to 35 for Buendia and 30 to 35 for Basuma. So you're already looking at 70 for them two. You're probably looking at 30 for Aarons. So you're looking at 100 million. But I think that's very doable for Arsenal with the amount of players that we've got to sell. Maddison came from Norwich. Norwich are open to selling. I mean, their chief executives even come out and said that they are resigned to the fact that they're going to probably have to sell one of them. What I think they've done, when they've got relegated, they've said to the likes of Aarons, Buendia, Campbell, get the team promoted and we'll let you go. And now they've got promoted. I think they're willing to let one, maybe even 2 of them go. They obviously sold Godfrey last season to Everton, who I think's been fantastic for them. Lamptey is great, but injury prone. Yeah, for me, I would go for Aarons. I would go for Aarons ahead of Lamptey. Played a lot more football, and that for me would be the one. Now, it's interesting how you guys were mentioning your boy Max Aarons, because just as I came on, Freddie Paxton, who writes for The Guardian, put this story out. Arsenal are keen on signing Norwich right back Max Aarons. Clubs have had interest for a few years, but will have to compete with a number of teams who are looking at him, including Spurs, to do a deal this summer. News comes as Arsenal are considering a long-term replacement for Hecky B, Hector Bellerin, who looks set to leave this summer. Now, listen, if it's Arsenal and Tottenham, let's be real. We know where he's going. He'll be wearing the red and white of Arsenal. You ain't going to Tottenham ahead of Arsenal. You know, they're a shambles right now. No, they haven't even got a manager. So let's get this done. This is what I'm saying. This is not about the big spending this summer. It's about being smart. We need the smart signings. We can't go and blow the market away and go and buy Haaland and Pepe. We've never done that. Just be smart. We should be able to go to Brighton and take Basuma. Go to Norwich, take Buendia and Aarons. Those three in our team would make a huge difference. I also think we need a centre-back as well, personally. That's a position I would definitely look at. Hecky Bibi catwalking his way out of here. Yeah, happy for him to do it, man. Get him out of here as well. I think we've all had enough of your boy Hecky B, man. We're all happy for him to leave the football club. What I like about Max Aarons and a big part of the reason why I want Arsenal to get Max Aarons is his consistency and his regular game time. Now, as you can see here, Max Aarons has played 45 games this season in the league. He's 21 years of age. 21 years of age. And you look at these last 3 seasons. Premier League, you play 38 games. He played 36. He played 41 the year before in his first season in the Championship. And he's played 45 out of 46 this year. 2 goals, 2 assists, 5 yellows, no reds. Absolute no-brainer for me. This is the right back, in my opinion, that we should be going for. The reason I would go with him ahead of Tariq Lamptey, you look at this. Arsenal need to stay away from this guy, in my opinion. You can't go and spend big money on a player with those numbers. 11 games this season and 8 last season. It's not enough. He's played 19 games in 2 seasons. 19 games in 2 seasons. 1 red card in 11 appearances. We can't go for him. We can't go for him. He's too injury prone. We know over the years we've had these kind of problems at Arsenal with the injury prone players, Rosicky, Diaby, talents. But we need players who play regular football. So for me, Max Aarons is the one. Masson said, Curtis, what's your thoughts about the AST meeting tomorrow with potentially Josh again? They're saying they have news about fan involvement in the club. Listen, let's hope we get some good news out of that. That's all I can say, because it's looking like it's going to be very difficult to get this owner out of the football club. We have another protest this week, Sunday. Dennis Bergkamp has been speaking today, people. Super Dennis. And it doesn't sound the most positive, if I'm being honest. If I'm being completely honest. He's spoken about Daniel Ek and trying to take over the club. But it doesn't sound overly optimistic like it's going to happen. Let me get these quotes up for you on Dennis Bergkamp and what he had to say. Dennis Bergkamp did an interview. Dennis said, on X rejected takeover bid of Arsenal, he said, we can't force anyone to sell. I understand that. In addition to that offer, Daniel has now reached out twice to Kroenke and his bankers, Josh Kroenke as well. Dennis went on to say, whatever Kroenke's intentions are, it would be good if we at least have a conversation with each other in the interest of the club. Regardless, Daniel is not a quitter, and neither are we. Football boys, we are here to stay. Bergkamp says, the crazy thing is we cannot imagine how the current players feel because we have always played for the Championship ourselves. We know how the fans feel. We already had a meeting with a supporter delegation. We also sense more and more enthusiasm on their side. Now, what is really bad about those statements is that he's basically saying that the Kroenkes won't even engage with them. They're not, you can see what he's saying there. He said it would be good if we have at least had a conversation. Clearly, the owners and the Kroenkes, they don't even want to talk to him. They say, no, not interested, don't need the money, don't want to have a conversation, and we're not selling the club. How do you get them to the position where they at least have a conversation with Daniel Ek? They're just rejecting the offer out of hand without even, engaging with anything he's got to say, which makes it very difficult. Burkamp said, after I left the club, I always kept in touch with Thierry Henry and Patrick Vieira. I continue to watch the games. The club is in my heart. I have become a fan, just like Patrick and Thierry. I recognise the Arsenal from our time less and less. The ambition to win the top prizes is in Arsenal's DNA, never accepting to lose. The mentality has slowly disappeared. I sense resignation about the current situation. That is serious, as if, given the financial situation, it is normal for Arsenal to end mid-table. I echo everything that he is saying. You're talking everything that the fans want to hear. These guys have made finishing mid-table acceptable and normal. You know, he's absolutely spot on with what he's saying here. And this is what these owners have done to the football club. You know, Mikel Arteta is just the puppet. You know, they control it. They're pulling his strings. But he's going along with what they're doing. He's not in a position to change their minds. Daniel Ek has reached out twice now to Josh Kroenke, and they haven't even had a conversation with him. We have to put some major pressure on these owners. And it's unfortunate because this is the last game of the season next week. After this, it's easier to put pressure on an owner on a match day at a game. It's more difficult when the season's finished. No one's at the stadium. Yeah, you can protest outside the ground, but essentially no one's there. It's going to be difficult. But these owners are a disgrace. You know, they're not even willing to have a conversation and listen to what the guy's got to say. It just shows the general state of the football club. You know, I've started this stream trying to justify the European Conference League and you know, the teams that we'll be playing against. I know we're laughing and joking about it, but it's not funny, really, is it? When you think about where we are right now. You know, it's bad. Dennis is spot on. He's absolutely spot on. And look at this club. And then they do things like this. They do things like this, people. Another day, another dollar. Rather than Stan Kroenke engaging with Daniel Ek and discussing the future of the football club, at least listening to the man's ideas and seeing what he's got to offer. They're doing things like this. This is what you wake up to on a Thursday morning. The brand new Arsenal training kit. It's the same as every other one. They must just wake up. Their PR team must wake up and say, what colour should we do today? And they go, we'll do green today. Or as Emi said, Aero Mint. The new fresh Aero Mint kit. They've done yellow. They've done blue. I think they've done a red one. They've done a black one. Now it's Aero Mint Green. Another one, as DJ Khaled would say. Another one. How many training kits do you want to bring out in a season? Yeah, random colour generator. They must just press it and whatever colour flashes up, bang, release that one. We've had more training kits than wins this season. I kid you not. These owners are a disgrace. It's funny, you know, because I look at Manchester United fans and the way they're protesting at the moment. You know, they got a game called off. They blocked the bus. They stopped the ref going into the ground. And I look at United and I think, you guys are in a far better position than we are. You know, you're second in the league. Your owner spends a lot of money. I know he's put them in debt, but at least he's trying to make something happen. Our owner is the worst out of all of them, in my opinion. And he's getting a free ride, Kroenke. He's genuinely getting a free ride out of the fans. Releases kits, doesn't talk to us. Mid-table, we're on the verge of finishing in the losers' conference league. It's embarrassing. I'm absolutely disgusted in this football club right now, honestly. One of the biggest reasons, things that I loved about this club growing up was the connection between the club, the manager, the players, the fans. It was so connected. We are so far apart now. It is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Bro, no way am I ordering it. No chance. Yeah, owners changing badges, colours, the cannons facing the other way. It'll probably move us out of London eventually. We'll move to LA or something. Yeah, maybe they're trying to hint, man. You know, it is the Spotify colour. Maybe it's the new Spotify training kit. They're getting ready for Daniel Ek, man. It's a joke, mate. They're turning us into an absolute joke of a football club. You know, I'm doing a stream last night and I'm celebrating goals because we've still got a chance of qualifying for the Europa League. You know, that's what they've done to us as a fan base. Literally, like, taking everything away from us as Arsenal fans. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. All this merch, I understand they have to make money. It's a business. I'm not blind to the fact that Arsenal need to make money in a pandemic. But like I said yesterday, season ticket prices, frozen, same price. Why? We got no Europe. If we have got Europe, we're playing against teams we've never heard of. Training kits, extortionate prices. Training kits are coming out at the same price as the kits. You know, £60 for the t-shirt and £80, £90 for the long sleeve zip up and that. It's ridiculous. Spotify free trial kit. Big up Skull Fuggery, man. Go and check out his channel, man. Been helping with my channel, man. Appreciate his help. Go and check out his channel. Really good entertainment. Kits are released by Adidas. 80-90% of kit sales goes to Adidas. That is right, you know. And maybe the sales are down, you know. Maybe the sales are down, and that's why Adidas keep releasing more and more because the fans aren't buying them as much. When is the manager leaving then? Mate, your guess is as good as mine. Picasso ain't going nowhere for now, man. He's very much settled at Arsenal. It looks like he's going nowhere. Man said changing colours like bubblegum. I'm telling you, man. Watching you pushing the pain away. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Moving like Oliver Twist, feeding us breadcrumbs and fans lapping it up. Please, sir, can I have some more? And you're spot on, South London's finest. That's what they're doing. They're just giving us anything. Yeah, have a few little scraps off the plate, you little peasants. What did they call us? Legacy fans? You know, they said it all when they said that. All bit mint green because all we do is get chewed up by other teams. All this glow in the dark business, man, you know. Sponsors will walk away if they don't meet sales targets. Let's hope they don't. Let's hope they don't meet them. It's so sad what's happening to Arsenal. It is, man. You know what? You've seen me on my live watch-alongs, people. I crack a joke, this, that, the other, about things and the Conference League and saying, you know, there won't be any match kit on. You'll have to pay subs after the games. But when you actually look at the situation, it's crazy what's happening to the football club, man. You know, and the state of us right now and the lack of ambition. It's sad. It's sad to see. It's really sad to see, man. The direction of this football club worries me right now. It really, really worries me. I had to eat a little bit of humble pie yesterday because in the build-up to the game, we were talking about Wilfried Zaha and Nicolas Pepe. I said, look, that I think Pepe is a good player. I do think Mikel Arteta has managed him quite poorly. But I believe that Zaha was... How did I put it? I believed that Zaha would have done more if we'd signed him at the time we signed Pepe. But Pepe got 2 goals yesterday, and all of a sudden, as you can see with this stat on the screen, 25 games started this season, 19 goals and assist contribution. That is not bad. Now, don't get me wrong. I always say that football, number one, is the eye test. When you watch them, how they play. And Pepe is up and down. You know, sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not so good. But 19 goals and assists in 25 starts, that's not bad. That's not bad in a team that has been shocking this season in terms of the attack. And you would like to think that moving forward, we can get more out of him. As you said, man, West Ham ruined our chances. Came off the stream at 1-1 and West Brom just crumbled. But if we've got to rely on teams like West Brom to get us in the Europa League, then clearly we're doing something wrong. And that says a lot about Arsenal right now. Pepe watched the stream and told himself he'll prove you wrong. He did, man. He went to South London. Zaha did nothing. He spent most of the game diving around the pitch. And Pepe turned up, got 2 goals. They doubled up on him the whole game as well. So they clearly knew he was a problem. Kent said 100 Curtis Zaha in Emery's team would have been great. I think the Zaha boat has sailed. And I agree with all of that comment. I felt like that Emery team was set up for individual brilliance and a dribbler. I think with this one, Arteta's a lot more tactical. He doesn't want people just running like that. And looking at Zaha yesterday, I think that ship has sailed. Zaha will never play for Arsenal, in my opinion. Shano said, I'd say Saka or whoever is on the other wing must score and assist more. And I include Saka in that as well. I actually don't think that Saka has been great for the last couple of months. I think he's been quite inconsistent, but he's been so good throughout the season. I'm not going to lay criticism at Saka. I just think, we're in a good position because we've got 3 good wingers in Saka, Pepe and Martinelli. But I just think Pepe's got to be a mainstay in the team. I really do. You can't invest 72 million in a player and then not give him a fair chance to prove himself. Zaha will play for Arsenal once he's 40. Yeah, probably will, man. Aubameyang needs to go, getting Kane. It's funny, I had a lot of debate yesterday when we finished the stream talking about Aubameyang. Aubameyang was poor yesterday. Again, didn't look that interested, didn't get much service. But he looks like he's kind of going through the motions. And I was speaking to someone off air and they said, look, get rid of him. I said, look, man, he's 31, Aubameyang. Nobody is going to buy him and pay that wage. Sometimes in football, when someone has a bad season, you don't have the option of just saying, get rid of them. We've committed such a huge contract to Aubameyang. No one's signing him right now. The club have to find a way to get more out of him. That's the solution. Or do you put him on the bench? But then who's the striker? Do you guys think Aubameyang on the bench? Do you think Lacazette's the answer up front? No, we've seen that Lacazette, over a consistent period of time, doesn't perform. He has games where he goes missing or plays like a midfielder. And this is the problem. The difference says, Willock, keep or sell. Listen, I like Joe Willock. I think he's probably the best midfielder that Arsenal have that can get goals. I just don't think he's going to succeed under Mikel Arteta. I just don't. If Mikel Arteta is the manager and Newcastle offered me 25 million or more, I would sell Joe Willock. And it's harsh because I think Joe Willock under a different manager could do all right at Arsenal and score goals. But Joe Willock under Mikel Arteta, I don't think would work. I don't think he would have that same freedom. As Matthew said, who can succeed under Arteta? What attacking players are thriving under Mikel Arteta? I think it's the young players because they're young and they'll go along with what he's kind of saying because they're still being fine-tuned as footballers, where I think some of the older players, he's found it more difficult. Willian, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe. These guys, I think he struggled more to get the best out of them. Thomas Partey as well, when you look at it, has not been a major success at Arsenal this season. And I wouldn't blame him for it. I think a lot of it is down to the players that he's playing around. And, it doesn't help. I always said that he would get polluted by the rubbish around him, Thomas Partey. And this is unfortunately what has happened to him this season. Although I thought he was okay yesterday, he wasn't bad. Let's finish off with a player ratings. I haven't done a player ratings for a while. I've been so disgusted in this Arsenal team. I found it almost impossible to do the player ratings. But we will do it yesterday. We got a win. We could still be in Europe by Monday morning, but it's not going to be the European competition that we want. That's the thing. Who's the player of the season? I think you will probably go with Saka, even though I do think he has fallen off a little bit. Aubameyang seems to be unhappy with Arteta for the last few months. I think he no longer believes in the Cone Man. I agree. I think where they were getting on at the start of the season and he signed the new deal, I don't think he believes in him now. Shano said 6 across the board, 8 for Pete. There you go. We're done. Not really. Now, we will go through them quick, although I do kind of agree with it. There's a lot of 6s in there. There is a lot of 6s. As I'm looking through the team now, you're probably right. I think Aubameyang, probably not. Let's start with Leno. Burnt Leno. Thought he was okay yesterday. Couldn't do a lot about the goal. Made a couple of decent saves, actually. You know what? I'll give Leno a 7. I'll give Leno a 7. Let's see what you got. Yeah, I'll give Leno a 7. He made that good save from Schlupp at the near post. Came and took a few crosses. Couldn't really do anything about the goal. I'll give Leno a 7. I thought he was okay. Matt says 8. I'll probably go over 7. Over 1,100 of you in here, by the way. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Smash a like on the video as well. Big up to you guys for your fantastic support on the channel. Burnt Leno gets a 7. Some of you saying 8. The odd one saying 6. Let's go to Callum Chambers. I actually think Callum Chambers did quite well. And you lot know I'm not a big fan of Callum Chambers. I think if you play against Crystal Palace and Wilfred Zaha has had a quiet game, you've done your job, because he's their most dangerous player on the ball. And I thought Zaha was non-existent. Once he dribbled past Chambers and Holding got him out of trouble. But apart from that, I thought Zaha did nothing. And yeah, do you know what? I'm going to be positive. I'm going to give Callum Chambers a 7, because I thought he was going to get ripped apart by Zaha. But Zaha spent most of the time diving around the place. And he did put a couple decent crosses in as well. So yeah, I'm going to give Callum Chambers a 7, which isn't bad for him. Let's go to Kieran Tierney, the other fullback. He came off towards the end of the game. Granit Xhaka came on. I was actually fuming at that point. Tierney he got an assist. He got a good assist, actually. Little 1-2 with Saka. Chips it in. Nico Rasklot, Pepe, side foot volley. Thought Tierney was solid. Yeah, 6.5, but I'll be positive. I'll give him... Was he solid defensively? Who did he played against Townsend. I'll be positive. I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. I thought it was a fantastic cross that he put into the penalty area for Pepe's goal. Let's go to the centre-backs. Let's start with Rob Holding. 1 or 2 times I thought he got done. Thought Benteke made life difficult for Holding yesterday. He wasn't bad, but I don't think he was great either. There were 1 or 2 times I saw him get bullied. I hope I'm not doing him a disservice here. I would probably give Rob Holding a 6. Yeah, some of you saying he got bullied. Is he a 5 or... I'm trying to be positive for us here. But I thought Benteke was causing problems. Big up Leo Messi. He said, big up Big C. Sorry, but Zaha complains more than he plays. He's always looking for a foul. There's an element of like that Neymar, arrogance at times about Zaha. Like, why? How dare you tackle me? And the worst thing is Zaha is tall and he's strong. So I don't understand why he doesn't play with more aggression rather than looking for the free kick all the time. I don't get it. Rob Holding, I'm going to squeeze a 6 for Rob Holding. I thought he was, I think 5'6", but I'm going to give him a 6. He was okay, but I thought Benteke troubled him. Let's go to his centre-back partner, Gabriel. What do you make of Gabriel? Did one really good recovery run where I think it was Zaha actually was getting away from him and he got back, but there were question marks over the penalty. Not the penalty, the header of Benteke. Gabby was marking him and kind of let him go for me. So for that reason, I actually think Gabriel played better than Holding, but I think on that free kick, Gabriel let him go. If you watch the replay back, he loses him. So I'm going to give Gabriel a 6. I thought he was better than Rob Holding, but if you watch that free kick back, he loses Benteke. And Benteke is one of the biggest threats from a set piece. So I'm going to give Gabriel a 6. I didn't know he was as quick as that either. I've said it before. I think Gabriel next season can be a revelation for us. He's playing in the Olympics this summer, actually, with Gabriel Martinelli for Brazil. Let's go to the midfield. Mohamed El Neni. He was booked in this game. I don't. It was just an El Neni performance. He wasn't bad, but he just frustrates me with playing the ball backwards and sideways. Sometimes he's got opportunities to play forward and doesn't do it. I'm gonna give El Neni. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great. Wasn't great. I'm going to give El Neni a 5. Some of you may give him a 6. Again, too many times for me where he gets the ball, he's not under much pressure, and he doesn't play the ball forward. So frustrating. And he is slow on the ball at times. For me, I think El Neni needs to be moved on in the summer. Some people say keep him. He's a decent squad player. I just don't rate him. He does fight. He is committed, but he's not good enough for me. Thomas Partey's midfield partner. What did you make of Partey? Came off yesterday towards the end. I thought Partey was pretty solid yesterday, without being outstanding. No, listen, I'm not scapegoating El Messi. You know, I just think he's always been committed to the cause. That's one thing we never question. But I just don't think he's good enough for Arsenal if we want to move forward. If he played 5 games a season, yeah, but he gets regular game time. Thomas Partey, I thought was pretty solid. I thought he was decent. I'll probably give Thomas Partey a 7. Played a few decent passes. Still does get caught on the ball, though, too much for me. Second half, he was tired and he did come off. It's probably a 6.5 performance, if I'm being honest. But I don't really do the halves. Partey, he was all right without being spectacular. I'll probably give him a 6. I think 7. I don't think he was as good in the second half. We got ragged a little bit, especially the first 20, 30 minutes. We didn't even have a shot. So I'll give him a 6. I'll give Thomas Partey a 6. Worked hard. Still looks like he's not fully fit to me, which I don't understand. He's been here all season. And you're right, he needs a warrior. He needs a Basuma next to him. Smith Rowe. Thought Smith Rowe was industrious, worked hard, got on the ball a bit. Wasn't spectacular. I think a 6 for Emil Smith Rowe. What would you guys say on ESR? Thought he worked hard without being spectacular. Put a couple of decent crosses in. He was quiet in the second half. I'll go 6 for Smith Rowe. Some of you saying 7, 6 again. I'll give him a 6. I thought he was okay. Works hard as always. I'll give Smith Rowe a 6. Bukayo Saka. Again, I didn't think it was his best of games. Played a lovely little back heel into Kieran Tierney when he crossed it in for the goal. I thought he was a little bit wasteful, got caught a bit on the ball. Is it tired legs for Saka? I think for the last maybe 6 weeks, we haven't seen the best of Saka. I really do. I don't think he's been great for a little while. I'm thinking back to the game. I'd probably give him a 5. I think he does need a good holiday. I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't get picked for the Euros because I think he needs the break. Even though, look, I would love him to get picked for the Euros. He deserves it considering the season he's had. But he definitely, like you guys are saying, looks burnt out for me. He is still probably the player of the season, what he did earlier in the season, but definitely needs a break. This one's going to be tricky. Skipper, number 14, a talisman, a highest paid player. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Where do we go with this guy at the moment? I think we've got a situation on our hands, and what we have to do, we've got to figure out a way to get more out of him. You know, I think it's too easy to just say, get rid of him, he's finished, he's not good enough. I don't think we have that option. I don't think anybody is going to give you, number one, millions of pounds to go and buy someone else. No one's going to give Aubameyang 300 grand a week. He turns 32 this summer. Who's going to give him that contract? Rather than just saying, get rid of him, which I think is the easy option, I think we've got to say, how can we get more out of him? Yeah, the system, the creativity, getting the ball to him quicker, hitting teams on the counter-attack. I think we've got to find a system. Otherwise, I see Aubameyang having a season like this again next season. Unless we create more chances for Aubameyang, we're going to have a problem with him. I was disappointed in his game yesterday. Did get minimal service, but he just doesn't get involved in the game enough. He's not that kind of player. Looks like he needs a break as well to me, Aubameyang. I think this season's weighed on him heavy, man. We just got to hope it's a bad season. I don't think he has done a Mesut Ozil. I don't think he has down tools, but there's definitely a problem. That's for certain. Play two up front could be a big help for him. I genuinely think that. You've seen Vardy got into his 30s. Iheanacho occupying defenders, I think, helps Vardy. It could help Aubameyang, but he was poor. What do I give Aubameyang for that performance? A 4? You know, I'd say he was the worst player on the pitch for us. He was non-existent. Non-existent. Let's finish off with a man of the match. Don't think he was actually outstanding for the whole game, Pepe. At times I was a bit frustrated with him. But they doubled up on him the whole game, and that tells me that they were worried about him. And I think that's a compliment to Nico Pepe. Scored 2 great goals. Little side foot volley, cushions it into the corner, and then a lovely goal at the end. I would probably give him an 8. I'd probably give him an 8 because I think when you give someone a 9, you're saying the performance was fantastic. Where I think the 2 goals were fantastic. I would give him an 8, probably an 8.5 if I did halves on here. Nishant said, big up Curtis, we do qualify for Europa if we finish 7th and Leicester finish 5th as Leicester is holders of the cup. See, I read that wasn't the case. I could be wrong, but when I read about it, I believe that's not the case. But listen, I might be wrong. You know, my information that I read said that it doesn't. Give 8 for Pepe. Man of the match, best player on the pitch for Arsenal. And as we say, man, he done his thing yesterday. He really did. And Martinelli, I'll give Martinelli a 7. Came off the bench, got an important goal at a vital time, and was the winning goal for Gabriel Martinelli. Xhaka and who else came on for Arsenal? They wasn't on for long enough. Odegaard. I'll give Odegaard a 7 as well. Fantastic cross into the penalty area. Green screen worthy, man. Yeah, Nico Pepe. People, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for tuning in. 1,100 of you in the chat. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. I will be back tomorrow. I'll probably get a guest on tomorrow. And we'll look ahead to the Brighton game. And obviously, I will be at the protest on Sunday. I will live stream that. And I will come straight back and then do the watch along of the game on Sunday. So keep tuned in. Big up everyone for tuning in. Smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, yeah, how can I forget? Deluded's on here tomorrow, 2 p.m. DG's on here tomorrow. So tune in for that, people. Me and Deluded, 2 p.m. on my channel tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. And we're on our way to the Conference League, man, for the final in Albania. Take care, people. Bless.